you guys are like me and you plan on pulling for Silver Wolf, who is going to be coming out on the release of patch 1.1, then this video is for you because I'm going to be going over the exact amount of different materials that you're going to be needing to get her to level 80, as well as her traces. And I'm also going to go over a few of the relic sets that you should be considering to focus on when you're going to be building Silver Wolf. What's up, everybody? 40 the Broadway Saiyan here, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel with some more Honkai Star Rail content. But before we go ahead and move forward with this video, I want to remind you guys that if you enjoy what you see on this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, that way you guys are not missing out on future uploads. Leave a like on this video and comment down below if you have plans on pulling for Silver Wolf, if you're already preparing ahead of time for when she comes out. So like I said, this video is for those of you that are planning on pulling for Silver Wolf, and it's to kind of get you ahead of the game in terms of what you need to farm in order to get her to level 80 and also get her as close as possible to maxing out her traces for her skills and all of those different things. Now, to those of you that are just starting out or you're not quite, near Trailblazer 50 or even 60, for those of you that already reached 60, then this may not be a video guide for you because those of you are still progressing, and I definitely don't want to encourage you guys to start farming mats for Silver Wolf now. Just focus on your progression, get that Trailblazer level 50 or level 60, whatever your goal is, so then that way you'll have access to better modes of like farming and different rewards and things like that. But for those of you that have the time, are excited for Silver Wolf, such as like me, I'm going to go ahead and go over the exact amount of materials that you're going to be needing to get her all the way to level 80 and getting all of her skills maxed out and things like that. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and start off first with getting her to level 80. So in terms of ascension materials, you're going to want 15 ancient parts, 15 ancient spindles, 15 ancient engines, 65 void cast irons, and a total of 887,800 credits. Now in terms of her EXP, and to get her all the way to level 80, it's a total of 5,797,920 EXP. You could do this in a variety of combining Traveler's Guides, Adventure Logs, Travel Encounters. If you have 289 Traveler's Guides, 3 Adventure Logs, and 3 Travel Encounters, that will get you to that point. So for those of you that are trying to save up and are farming, this might be the route that you want to go. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about what you need to get all of her skills maxed out. So basic attack to 6, skill, ultimate, and talent to 10. So this is going to be requiring the following materials for that: 33 ancient parts, 46 ancient spindles, 28 ancient engines. And then from the Calyx Great Mine Drops, you're going to want 12 Obsidian of Dreads, 53 Obsidian of Desolations, and 101 Obsidian of Obsessions. And finally, you are going to be needing 9 Destroyer's Final Road. This comes from the Echo of War Doomsday Beast drops. And you're also going to be needing a total of 6 Tracks of Destiny. And all of this is going to come out to 2,197,500 credits. So your credits are going to start seeing a big tank once you start getting characters to their capped out potential in terms of their levels and their skill materials and traces. So just keep that in mind, but that's what you're going to be needing in terms of getting her skills and all that to maximum potential. Now, finally, we're going to go over her traces. So her traces are going to require the following: 8 ancient parts, 10 ancient spindles, and 30 ancient engines. From the Calyx Great Mine, you're going to want 6 Obsidian of Dreads, 16 Obsidians of Desolations, and 38 Obsidians of Obsessions. Finally, from Echo of War, you're going to want another 9 Destroyer's Final Roads. This time, you're going to need 2 Tracks of Destiny and a total of 802,500 credits. So it's a lot, guys. It's definitely a lot, but for those of you that are looking for something to do in the game, you guys already got your Trailblazer level 60. I'm still on my way to Trailblazer level 60, and you want something extra to do and you plan on pulling for Silver Wolf, those are the amount of materials that you're going to be needing to farm up to get her to that maximum potential. So if you have time, that's what you're going to be needing. Now, I do want to go ahead and cover some of the gear sets that you guys want to consider for Silver Wolf. So remember, Silver Wolf is a Nihility character. She focuses on debuffing. Her caveat is that her skill has the potential of applying an elemental weakness that is available from one of your party members that the enemy doesn't have. So she could force an elemental weakness on an enemy that doesn't have that weakness in correspondence to one of the elements that's in your party. She also does a whole host of other debuffs from her bugs, so she's just there to shut enemies' defenses down and allow you to just do more damage overall with your party. With that being said, there are going to be a few different gear sets that you want to consider. The first one that I'm going to recommend, which is pretty much a given because she is a quantum character, is going to be that quantum set, because she will have access to that 4-piece defense ignore, and additional defense ignore if she's hitting quantum weakness damage. And then if you want another set that is also pretty flexible, you can also consider the Musketeer set, because the Musketeer set will amp up her attack with that attack bonus, especially if she reaches that speed that's required for it. This is pretty much very, very flexible in terms of like support characters. You know, if you're trying to look for a gear set and you're like, okay, what do I want to go for? That Musketeer set is actually a pretty solid set. Now, there is another set that some people have considered to run with her, and it is the Thief set. The reason why is a Thief set is going to improve her break effect, and if she's able to land a weakness and break, well, there you go. Makes it even more potent in order to breaking the enemy and getting that weakness break off. But the Thief set is also something that you could consider for Silver Wolf. Again, she's a very flexible character. I think there's, different builds that you could go with to fulfill your party needs. Now, in terms of her spheres, I have to say that the Space Sealing Station is going to be a pretty good one. Reason being is that, you're going to increase her attack and also give her more offensive capabilities herself. That being said, she is a support character, but if you do want her to have a little bit more oomph in terms of her personal damage, that's also a set that you could consider. And then another one that I would personally recommend is going to be the Talia Kingdom of Banditry, because that one increases her break effect, and then when her speed reaches 145 or higher, it's going to increase that break effect by another additional percentage. So if you want to focus on that for Silver Wolf, that's definitely another set that I would recommend in terms of her relics, for her spheres and also her rope. Lastly, I want to quickly cover the the light cones that you should be focusing for Silver Wolf. So if you plan on pulling for her, you probably are going to want her own light cone, because her own light cone is really, really strong for her. But if you don't plan on pulling for her light cone, there is an option in Welt's light cone, which is called In the Name of the Void. So Welt's light cone increases the wearer's damage to debuff enemies, which is good because Silver Wolf is a debuffer, and then whenever the user uses their skill, the effect hit rate is going to increase. And something about Silver Wolf, and this also ties in with another character who we have access to, which is Pela. A lot of these debuffers, they want added effect hit rate, because you want your debuffs to land. And later on, when you get into the harder content, especially Memory of Chaos, you're going to start to notice that enemies will be resisting those debuffs. So if you have additional effect hit rate, Welt's Light Cone is actually a really good option for her, especially if you happen to not get Silver Wolf's Light Cone. And lastly, Welt's Light Cone gives an increase to attack as well. So that's just going to be overall good for Silver Wolf if you're looking for another Light Cone option in terms of a Light Cone that is recommended for her. But this is going to go ahead and conclude this video. For those of you that want to prepare ahead of time and get a little bit of knowledge for Silver Wolf, again, it's aimed at those of you that have the time to do so, because for those of you that are still trying to get to Trailblazer level 50 and 60, like I mentioned earlier, this is something that you might not want to do because you want to continue to progress and get that higher Trailblazer level. But for those of us that don't have much to do, are excited for Silver Wolf, such as myself, and want something to do on the side, this could be potentially something you want to consider in preparing ahead of time for Silver Wolf's release. Thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and stay blessed, everybody.